Well, having got the taste for racing, MGs went racing much more seriously, and they set about the task of achieving 100 miles an hour. And finally did this in 1930 with a special souped up M-type. I say an M-type, it was actually a special chassis, which proved to be the basis of the next series of models. This particular car, which everyone knows as EX120, is the most significant MG of all, because this is the one that virtually unchanged ran right the way through to the TC in chassis design. The front axle is overslung, where most cars at the period were underslung. I mean, the axle actually sits on the springs instead of hanging under them. And the rear axle passes over the chassis frame, which allows for a very, very stable ride. What it does is to lower the centre of gravity so that the car can't tip over very easily. In order to achieve 100 miles an hour, they had to supercharge the engine, which at that time was the popular way of making engines produce a lot of power. The power went up from somewhere around 18 horsepower to something around 45, 50, which is quite a big jump. When you bear in mind that at the same time they reduced the engine capacity to 750 cc's. The first 100 mile an hour run achieved them a tremendous amount of kudos. Austin had been trying for 7 years to do that and hadn't achieved it. At the end of 1930, MG were the first company to achieve 100 miles an hour for a baby car. By 1931 they were averaging 100 miles an hour for races. In 1932 they were going even faster. The EX120 therefore fathers the next series of cars, and we have the C and D type, which are complementary models. The D type is a 4-seater touring car with M-type mechanicals. The C type is an out-and-out racing car, only 44 of them built. And the C type, in the next 2 years, 1931-32, won just about every race that was available to them. And they achieved some pretty remarkable performances.
This is an MG 1932 Model D. This car has the M-type engine, and in the time of looking for speed and sporty cars, this is a 4-seater, and the M-type engine was not powerful enough for the people at that time. So consequently, production was stopped on this car in sometime in mid-1932 with only 250 being built. I purchased this particular car from a widow in Maine, where I reside now, and was brought into the country by her husband, who was colonel in the Air Force, the United States Air Force, by way of Germany. And she had no need or no reason to continue with restoration of the car. It was somewhat of a basket case. It's now fixer-upper rather than restored, but I'm finding out more information from time to time on getting it back to original. It's fun to drive, respond, but it is weak-powered. They progressed from this to the onto the F model, I think, with a 6-cylinder and about the same body, which gave it a great deal more power.